What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking along a playthrough of the Juel Community Park in Redmond, Washington. And this is actually, I believe, the second course I ever played in my disc golf career. So this is a course that I enjoy playing and coming back to every once in a while to really gauge how I improved, looking back at videos from 5-6 years ago to see how far I've come. Hole 1, there is an OB ditch that I fortunately stayed on the right side of, staying inbounds just barely, having a long putt. This course, even though it is very simple, as you can see, we're playing along what I believe is an acre of ground with a couple trees to contend with, not too much OB, and very simple, really good practice course where you can really dial in that distance control, but also a couple of shot shapes where it matters, as you can see on hole 2 and 3 for example. So hole 3, I'm just throwing an Ohti here, trying to throw it flat but got over a little on it. And the only mistake that you don't want to make here is going early right into the trees, leaving myself with a long putt for birdie. Now I don't remember off the top of my head what baskets these are. What I do remember is that I am not a fan of these baskets. My putting style in general does not favor these baskets at all. When it comes in with that slight bit of nose down and ends up hitting that pole, it does some funky things sometimes, and I know I'm always hesitant when I putt on these, so I've been trying to take some speed off of my putt and just really making sure that it's on the right line. I think it's really molded my putt in the past few years. Every time I do play here, it acts as a reminder of how much my putting has actually improved, and in part from this love-hate relationship with these baskets. Now what's also cool about Juel Park is that this is the first course I ever played a weekly doubles round at, and so I have some good memories from that too, and I remember watching some of the better players throw, and this was one of the main reasons that I also ended up getting hooked on the sport of disc golf itself, is watching these 1,000 rated players, watching them tear up a course like this. And I remember I was lucky enough the first time ever playing here in that weekly doubles round, I ended up witnessing a -17, which blew my mind at the time. And ever since then I've been slowly trying to improve my personal best here. So this was my attempt here in the summer of 2023. And one of the big things that I noticed a difference from last time when I would have played here was that my consistency in terms of distance had definitely improved. Hole 7 is one of those holes where I know I can reach the basket. It's always been an issue of connecting with the drive consistently to give myself a putt. So that was a really big birdie for me to get on this round. Hole 8 is one of those holes that my game plan has changed over the years. Since I've grown more comfortable with that sidearm, I'm just throwing an Ohti here, which is basically a Firebird copy, but I really like the plastic from West Side. Picking up another birdie there. Moving on to hole 9. Hole 9 is definitely the easiest hole on the course, coming in at only 180 feet. Fortunately, I did have a little technical difficulty with the camera, so we missed my drive there. Thankfully for me, it was an awful shot and you did not get to see it, so I ended up taking a par there. Now what is special about Juel Park is that there are only 9 baskets on the property, but there are 2 tee pads playing to each basket. Generally speaking, the back 9 tee pads play longer than the front 9 with a couple of exceptions. And I really like how they utilize these different angles. So it does actually feel like 2 different holes even though you're playing to the same basket. Hole 10, you are playing a little bit more towards that OB, and with that slightly longer hole, it is a really hard birdie to get. Hole 11, I believe I'm throwing a Recco here. And I know that playing the putter, it's going to be really challenging for me to reach the hole unless I connect perfectly on the drive. But my main goal there is to just land somewhere between the trees, hopefully slide up if it does go a little bit further. But at least try guarantee myself a long look at a birdie putt on that hole. Hole 12 is one of these exceptions where it does play as a shorter hole than the front 9 counterpart. And I'm throwing the same disc again, the Ahti, just on a sidearm. Flat, have it hyzer in. Nice and simple. Putting me at -4 at this point in the round. Now this is the point in the round where the next 4 or 5 holes is all about maintaining score for me. Hole 13 is one of the last reachable holes, I think, minus the last 2 holes on the course. So at this point, taking pars is so important to scoring well out here, especially for me. Some of the bigger arms can reach these holes, but it's all about taking your pars. Moving on to hole 14. Hole 14 is coming in at 425 feet, 130 meters. Playing to the 3 trees in the center of your screen with that basket tucked just in the back corner. And I had some technical difficulties again, so this was not what my actual throw looked like. I tried recreating it. I did not recreate it very well, and I ended up landing outside or just on the edge of circle 1 and converting for the par putt low left pocket of the basket. Hole 15 is the longest hole on the course, coming in at 480 feet. And this one, it's so important to just get your disc as far out there. Seeing as though there aren't many trees in the way, you just want to throw as far as you can. Direction isn't that big of an issue, which is nice when you're just learning out. It's just all about learning to connect on those drives without having too much pressure. And thankfully I did do that well, and this was a good example again of trying to be a little bit more consistent with connecting on those drives, as I know I have so much potential there, but it's always been a consistency issue. Hole 16, nothing too special here. Main objective, since I can't reach the hole, do not go right into the bushes. If you go right into the bushes, that is a death sentence and you will not get your par. Trying to give it a little bit of a bid from maybe 120 feet out. It looked a lot better on camera than it was in real life. Unfortunately, it was a little low the whole way. Coming into the second last hole, hole 17, 335 feet, 102 meters. This is one of those holes that before I would love to get my par. I would have been extremely happy with it, but with my sidearm improving over the last year or so, this has now become a very reachable hole for me with that sidearm. I just didn't hang it out far left enough, and ideally I'd like to get it over a little bit, as 335 is a little bit long on a hyzer the whole way for me. But I do now know that there is plenty of room for improvement there, and I can play that hole a lot better than I have in the past. Hole 18, I'm trying to throw a hyzer here with my harp. Ideally, you'd like to be giving an ace run on holes 9 and 18, as these are the simplest holes of all of the ones out here. And I gave myself a putt. Definitely didn't give it the ace run that I was looking for. And that puts me at -4 through the round, finishing at an even 50. If you liked what you saw, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to see more content from me.